Route Access. Episode 5. The Billion Island. First Act. Every dot on the screen.
Julian Price couldn't wait to see Maxwell and his crew again. They arrived at his private island, after a troubled flight during a heavy storm, but now the sky was without a single cloud, perfectly sunny. The new face of the team immediately caught his attention, notable for a youthful appearance, standing as a peer to Jabari and Jasmine.
Hello, Mr. Price. It is a great pleasure to finally meet you. I'm Sam Carter. I work with Maxwell Husk.
Sam extended a formal and respectful hand.
Hi, really nice to meet you. But, aren't you a little young to be working with him? Are you going to take part in the security assessment?
Oh, don't worry. Sam's skills are more than needed for the evaluation.
Jasmine answered him. Sam put on the Mirage glasses and started looking around the island, standing at the airport where they had just arrived.
This island is 62 square kilometers, or around 39 square miles, right?
Julian looked at Sam, wondering if the glasses were making all the calculations automatically.
It's that a Mirage device? Are they working outside virtual reality now? How did you manage to get the accurate dimensions so quickly?
Oh no, I haven't switched them on yet. I'm just using them as sunglasses.
Sam removed the device to show Julian that there were no images displaying at the screen inside.
I did my estimations using the length of that big antenna. Then, I extrapolated that to the relative size of the building, and knowing the average height-to-width ratio for island constructions, I figured it out.
Sam explained, to Julian's surprised face.
Wow, that's just unbelievable.
Sam's accurate estimations, which were off only by 17 meters or 0.1 miles, completely astonished Julian.
And that's nothing. Inside the Mirage VR, you should see Sam. It's like witnessing a mix of Neo and Trinity from that old classic movie.
Jabari winked at Sam.
Well, let's see what we are dealing with, shall we?
Maxwell said to the group.
Talos, my chief of security, will take care of all your needs and questions during your stay.
Julian got back into his electric supercar and quickly disappeared.
This way, please. Mr. Price requested me to show you your accommodations.
Julian's Maori bodyguard, Talos, was a mountain of a man, built like an immovable force. He appeared behind them, wearing an even fancier suit than the plane's pilot. Talos handed the four of them a set of wristbands with golden marks and personalized name plates.
Scene 2.
Welcome to Price Mansion.
The majestic palace was situated at the center of the island, a large complex of buildings, surrounded by smaller ones, with more utilitarian architecture.
How many people do you have on staff now?
Maxwell asked him, skipping all formalities.
We have 72 employees working around the clock in 3 shifts. Here you can see a rough distribution of their tasks, timetables, and live locations.
Talos gave Maxwell a golden-plated tablet computer, with several dots blinking in a 3D render.
Everyone agreed with this level of surveillance?
Jasmine was intrigued by the precise location given for each employee.
Yes, that's part of the deal if you want to work for Mr. Price. And it's not as if he doesn't pay his employees well.
That's really interesting.
Jabari looked Talos in the eyes. His immense height made Jabari look small.
Is it worth it for real?
he asked, with a dead serious face.
For some of us, yes, sir. This job is not just a paycheck. The position represents respect, opportunities, and above all, being close to a mastermind in business like Julian Price.
The team understood immediately that they were not only Julian's employees, but also his followers.
Amazing!
Maxwell exclaimed while looking at the tablet.
But what about the missing dots? I only see 58 on the screen.
Well, each member of the staff has 9 hours per day of free time, which they can use however they seem fit. Sleeping, relaxing, socializing.
I see. So, they only get tracked while working?
Yes, we use this method not only for security reasons but also to track productivity and keep the operations running smoothly.
And who decides the working hours? Is there a scheduler?
An automated AI. For sure, right?
Jasmine answered before Talos could reply.
That's correct, Miss Galvez. There are some exceptions, of course, but most of the time the scheduling is fully automated.
What about the crew from the plane?
Sam asked.
Well, the computer sensed high levels of cortisol and adrenaline on them, so they took a day off.
What? Cortisol levels? How is that possible?
Yes, the tracking chip also acts as a health monitor.
Talos showed them the waistband embedded on his forearm, small but highly tech-packed.
I see. It should produce a very interesting and large data set.
Maxwell concluded.
Indeed, I can show that to you if it's required.
Talos answered, confidently.
Scene 3.
Maxwell knew the time off wouldn't help him calm his nerves after the tumultuous flight. So, he started the formal security checkup right away.
ARIA, can you copy?
He asked the supercomputer at the Institute through his special pen. But he received no answer.
ARIA, please give me a connection status.
The onboard microprocessor of the device made a connection checkup and flashed a sequence of lights. A short message in Morse code indicated that ARIA was out of reach.
Julia, is everything all right over there?
Maxwell tried to send a voice message to the Institute this time. But there was no signal. The messages queued, but never got sent. He realized that, whatever challenge they would face on the island, using ARIA's superintelligence won't be an option.
That is not good at all.
Jabari whispered to Maxwell.
Do you think they can block our satellite connections too?
Probably. I've seen large antennas.
It's very secure, but I don't like it when ARIA is unreachable.
Agreed. Also, do you remember the technician on the plane? I recall him being nervous, but not in the right moments.
What are you talking about? We were all about to die.
Let's say that his face looked more anxious when we landed safely than when we were about to crash or be taken down by a missile.
I see, now that you mention it, I think I remember him using his phone when the rest of us had no signal at all. I hope Talos can help us locate him, quickly.
Maxwell reflected, dropping his ARIA pen.
Scene 4.
Sam and Jasmine were enjoying the rest of Price Mansion. 3 pools, 2 climate-controlled indoors and a large outdoor Olympic-sized one, were being prepared for Julian Price's party.
Hello, can I offer you something to drink?
A waiter asked them, carrying a tray with expensive-looking bottles.
Just a cold lemonade, thanks.
Jasmine answered modestly.
Do you have any single malt scotch?
Sam asked. Jasmine looked at Sam, completely surprised by the request.
What? I'm old enough to drink, and I think I deserve it.
The waiter showed Sam 2 bottles.
This one is an 18-year-old Scotch. And this is from Mr. Price Private Collection. It is a 72-year, oak barrel, single malt.
Sam pointed to the second bottle and shyly asked,
Neat, please. No ice for me.
The waiter poured the elixir and Sam took a small sip from the glass, sighing.
But you didn't like the champagne at all, on the plane.
Well, bubbles are not my thing, but this stuff is really, really good.
The waiter moved away, and as they sat back on the poolside chairs, Jasmine admitted,
You were pretty brave up there. Even outside the VR world, you kept calm at all times.
Thanks, I've been working a lot on it.
Sam blushed, feeling happy. For the first time in years, someone was able to see past the prodigy mind skills.
How many hours per day are you spending inside the Mirage?
Just 2. I am detoxing a lot from it.
Sam replied proudly, but Jasmine's face looked surprised.
Oh, but that's still a lot of VR time on a daily basis.
I know, it's a real challenge.
We can help you with that if you want. While we're here, let's try to survive without the Mirage.
She took the headset from Sam's head, unexpectedly.
Okay, I can try. But please, don't touch me without asking first, ever again.
Sam felt happy, but couldn't hide the discomfort of sudden physical contact.
Second act. A chip in the motherboard.
The team met again after the half-a-day off. They were ready to begin analyzing the island's security measures thoroughly. Talos joined them at the lobby of the main building. He opened a hidden door in the wall using a retina scanner.
Please follow me, this way.
He politely asked. The team members entered a small opening. Talos' huge physique barely fit inside the narrow corridors of the mansion. After a couple of corners and down the stairs, they arrived in a small, heavily secured room. He opened a titanium-reinforced door, this time using his fingerprints. Inside, 2 guards with long-range rifles were standing beside a huge computer rack.
Here is where all the magic happens.
Talos pointed out the array of 12 screens with multiple camera feeds, and the map in the middle, with the dots, representing the employees.
I will take a look now.
Jabari connected 2 of his devices on open ports, only to get them immediately blocked. He spent the next hour trying different methods to access the central computer. Meanwhile, Sam inspected each server module, using the Mirage headset. Jasmine and Maxwell pulled out their computers and began writing attack scripts, but also failed to disrupt the central brain of the island.
That's pretty well hardened. Congrats.
Jabari wasn't easily impressed. Usually, it took him less than 15 minutes to crack most organizations. But this time, after more than 1 hour of uninterrupted attempts, there were no fissures, no cracks at all.
Thanks. We've been working only with the best of the best here.
Jasmine and Sam also felt frustrated.
Not a single line of code passed through. This is impressive.
Although, we don't have a connection with our advanced AI system at the Institute. You probably know why.
Sam asked, directly to Talos.
Yes, of course. We control all inbound and outbound connections of the island's airspace.
But our devices are satellite linked. We are not using your networks at all.
Maxwell explained, holding his ARIA pen, pointing to a small chip on the back of the device, with a satellite logo.
We know, but we prefer to control everything, even other networks. This is non-negotiable for Mr. Price.
Talos rendered one of the largest antennas in the center of the island on the screen. The team gathered around him to understand how it worked.
Is that a quantum signal interceptor?
Jasmine asked, noticing the brand on the side of the antennae.
Yes, it can sense, reconfigure, and resend any signal from any kind of device within the space of this island. All in real time.
Wow. That's absolutely insane.
Sam's face instantly went from surprised to utterly astounded.
Scene 6.
Congratulations. The cybersecurity analysis is now finished.
Maxwell was rounding up the conclusions of the report, while typing the summary on his tablet.
No worries. No outstanding findings and only 3 suggestions for the cyber part of the analysis.
He was using his pen to record everything through the built-in microphone. Feeling relieved, but puzzled, Talos asked him.
What do you mean with the cyber part of the assessment?
Well, we still need to check out the possible human weak points.
You've lost me there. Maxwell, what do you mean?
A system is only as strong as its weakest component.
Jabari replied, to Talos' surprise.
But our entire team is constantly monitored. Even if they try to do something wrong, we will be notified immediately.
But not constantly, right?
Maxwell asked, looking at the central screen.
If my math is correct, you should have one more point blinking there, which makes me ask you. What if someone is able to poison your AI scheduler?
That's impossible. The system doesn't receive direct inputs from users. It's just monitoring their body sensors.
The human body can also be hacked. Using pills or training, for example. You know that?
I think you might be onto something, but I don't believe anybody on the crew, support team, or security personnel is able to do such a thing.
Each of us had to undergo extensive physical and mental examinations before starting at this job.
One of the armed guards announced. His comment came out of nowhere.
The AI even has our initial health data before arriving at the island.
Maxwell looked at Jabari and Jasmine, and without saying a word, he plugged his cybernetic pen into the central computer, shouting.
ARIA. Initiate a self-destruct sequence on all devices. Now!
When the pen began beeping and lighting up in the countdown sequence, Talos and the guards froze. Their faces went completely blank. A security guard drew a handgun, aiming it at Maxwell. But he remained still.
If you shoot me, this pen will explode, killing us all.
Maxwell pointed to a small liquid container inside the pen.
This is uranium-239 mixed with a liquid explosive. Any sudden crash and the island is doomed.
With one look, Talos forced the guard to lower his gun. The pen emitted a sound sequence.
10, 9, 8.
What the hell are you doing? Husk, are you insane?
Talos asked, in disbelief. Jabari grabbed Jasmine and pulled her close to his chest to protect her.
7, 6, 5.
Are you sure there is no member of your team capable of hacking the system?
Maxwell insisted to Talos, as intense and serious as ever. Sam, following Jabari's gesture, found cover below a table. The countdown continued.
4, 3, 2.
I told you, I don't think our AI can be exploited by humans without any direct input.
Talos answered, frustrated.
Please, stop this nonsense, right away.
When the countdown was about to finish, Maxwell took out the pen from the central computer, pointing to the main screen. 3 dots that were shown previously with a golden color turned red. The AI scheduler was showing an alert when an automated message played from the speakers.
Cortisol and stress levels surpassed the allowed limit. Resources X87, Z34 and K02 will be sent off immediately.
The dots turned gray, disappearing from the map. Both guards and Talos felt their tracking implants deactivating. Understanding the situation, he admitted to Maxwell.
So, can a human body be used to hack a system indirectly?
Exactly.
Maxwell answered, smiling.
Scene 7.
Where is he? We shouldn't have trusted an AI for this.
Julian Price was furious.
I don't know, sir, but the Technician 17 is missing.
He can't just disappear. This is an island, for God's sake.
I know, sir. We will find him.
Okay, let's do an all-hands meeting in an hour. Maybe he will come to the gathering, if he doesn't get suspicious.
Roger that.
All staff to the main lobby. I repeat, all staff to the main lobby.
The robotic voice sounded loudly across the island communications system.
The all hands start in 5 minutes. I repeat, the all hands will start in 5 minutes.
The employees gathered outside the main building's door, and one by one, accessed the lobby. All personnel, including those scheduled for time off, were required to attend this kind of meeting. Consequently, the AI registered every individual as active. The chef, the pilot, and the stewardess from the flight arrived at the same time. But the technician was nowhere to be seen. At the main stage, Talos began a talk about a new security protocol. A standard speech, to avoid alerting the alleged bad actor. Julian Price stepped up on the stage and gave an inspirational talk, emphasizing the importance of telling the truth after seeing something wrong. The room remained silent.
And remember, you can make anonymous complaints, and there will be no repercussions if they turn out to be legit.
Julian Price added to the field, as workers started leaving the building. The plan was solid, but the technician had outsmarted them. He wasn't holding his tracker anymore. Talos, Maxwell, Jabari, and Jasmine gathered behind the stage, when suddenly, the stewardess appeared.
I might have a clue. Where is Mr. Price?
She asked.
He is busy now, but you can tell us.
Well, during the flight I saw T-17 sending messages on his phone, right in the middle of the electrical storm, when all signals were supposed to be down.
I knew he was onto something.
Jabari exclaimed while smiling.
Do you remember what the message said?
He asked her.
Yes. It was about a secondary plan. I didn't pay attention at the moment, but now I am wondering. What was he referring to?
Well, he is the one missing.
Julian appeared with Sam, who was trying to find the technician using the Mirage.
We need to find him at any cost.
Talos repeated.
Can we check his records? His previous job interviews, medical checkups, Anything we can use?
Jasmine asked them.
Let's go back to the central computing room and find out.
Scene 8.
That's not him, at all.
The team and the stewardess agreed.
How is that even possible?
Maybe he just stole an identity.
Sam felt a bit nervous. It was a familiar situation.
Back on the Mirage, plenty of users were able to hack into others' accounts, impersonating them.
Damn. This looks much worse than expected.
Talos responded angrily. He opened a profile of the technician that didn't match with the medical dossier pictures and even less, his public social profiles.
That's not him, either.
Julian's face turned red.
Shit, this is not good. We have no idea who this person really is. We must assume that the plane incident was caused by him or someone related.
Do you remember if he mentioned any family members or friends?
Jasmine asked the stewardess.
Not really. He kept most of his life to himself. Although.
What?
Sam asked, sensing a possible clue.
The technician had a short-term relationship with a past member of the crew. But he isn't working at the island anymore. He got fired after joining a conspiracy theorist group a few months ago.
Please, don't tell me that he was dating a short-haired guy with big muscles and a tiny excuse for a brain.
Jasmine asked, already knowing the answer.
Yes, but I can't remember the name of the group or the guy.
Could be conspirachips.
Sam answered.
And the guy name? Chad?
Jasmine completed.
That's right. But wait, how did you know that?
Damn! Can all of them be related? It couldn't be just a coincidence.
Flipping his phone in the air, Maxwell was connecting all the dots in his mind.
Third act. Hunting a rider.
Julian Price and Maxwell agreed that the only way to capture the technician was to lure him, by inviting Conspirateship and Chad to the private island. 1,000 invitations for the big party were sent out, but few were actually real. According to the plan, 2 tickets were sent to the VTuber Conspirateship and Chad, who recently tried to expose the Sinclair Institute's secrets. Even though the group had separated after the fiasco at the Institute, they couldn't resist the idea of spending a weekend on Price Island. The place was rumored to be a paradise, swarming with the world's top influencers, business owners, and celebrities.
Let's try it. I bet these assholes will be there too.
Conspirateship told his friend Chad when they received the invitations.
I don't know, bro. We lost a bunch of money last time, remember?
But this is all inclusive. They will even pick us up in a limo.
Yes, but last time we ended up looking pretty ridiculous. Don't you think?
Indeed, so this time we can just record it all with secret cameras and edit it later. Let's skip the live streaming.
Chad couldn't forget the humiliation when Jabari applied a takedown on him, in front of all his friends. Also, he never came clean with Conspirateship about his ex-boyfriend working for Julian Price. They hadn't spoken after the breakup, but now he wondered if it was a good idea to go back to the island. After all, it was Chad's ex who introduced him to these groups, and in particular to Conspirateship. 2 days later, they were on their way to the exotic island, surrounded by Julian Price bodyguards. Conspirateship was stunned by the number of security personnel, but being filled by famous and powerful people, he didn't think too much about it.
Scene 10.
Meanwhile, at the island's command center, Talos, Julian and Maxwell were planning the next steps.
Let's keep everything as legit as possible.
Talos was reviewing some last-minute details.
When they arrive at the airport, we must split them up to isolate Conspirateship in a separate room.
And we will use his friend as bait.
Jabari was enjoying the idea a little too much.
Exactly. As soon as this guy enters the room, we will broadcast an internal video feed of him, tied down.
Maxwell explained to Jasmine.
I've managed to link ARIA with the local communications antennae. We won't be getting too much footage, but it might be enough to convince our intruder to reveal his location.
Are we sure he will be watching?
Julian asked, still doubting. The island security protocols should lock any unauthorized person to watch the internal video feeds.
Yes, he still has access to the transmission system, as far as we know.
He most certainly hacked into the private camera feeds using valid credentials.
But what about Conspirateship? He will be crazy paranoid if we lock him up.
Oh, but we've accounted for that. Don't worry.
The private plane arrived shortly after on the island. Conspirateship immediately started live streaming the events, breaking his promise to Chad.
Here we are. On the incredible island of Mr. Price. We are the first ones to arrive at the big party.
The number of viewers went up immediately. Many people were intrigued by the possible celebrity spotting, and Conspirateship knew it. Suddenly, a black limo appeared on the runway. The chauffeur invited them to go in, blindfolding them for security reasons. 15 minutes later, they were separated. When Conspirateship got his blindfold removed, he wasn't able to see anything at all. He was tied up in a dark room when a deep, modified voice started to question him through loudspeakers.
What do you know about the hacker?
Conspirateship didn't move, he was petrified.
I don't know what are you talking about.
He answered, almost in tears.
Please, let me go.
No. You must tell us now. Where is the technician?
An even louder and deeper voice echoed in the dark space.
Please, I have no idea what you're talking about. I just got invited here because I'm a VIP.
Your theory was correct. You must know about the attackers. The plane crashed. Everything.
What theory? I invented everything for clicks and views. It's all fake. Please, do not harm me.
He cried, trying to free his hands from the chair. For the first time, they have a confession. Every piece of content created by Conspirateship so far was fabricated. Maxwell smiled, satisfied. He was monitoring everything from the other room.
Scene 11.
Chad was 2 blocks away, also blindfolded and tied up. He couldn't recall anything that had happened in the limousine, except for a last faint whiff of a familiar perfume, before passing out. The place was covered in darkness, when suddenly a camera in front of him turned on, with several lights. It looked like a perfect kidnapping scene. He tried in vain to loosen the rope, using his big muscles, but the fabric was too strong and really well tied. Jabari expert knots, and the strength used to secure him, ensured that breaking free was impossible.
Please help. What is going on?
He screamed as loud as he could, regretting the decision to get into the damn island with Conspirit ship.
Where I am. What is this about?
But nobody answered. Far away from the building, the technician was indeed monitoring the island video feeds, when he saw Chad, tied up and scared. Even after breaking up months ago, he couldn't resist the urge to go after his ex-partner.
Remember what the writers teach you.
His mind drifted back to the 3 weeks training that had reshaped his identity. He was indoctrinated in the arts of black hacking and emerged as an agent.
They will use your friends and family if necessary.
He recognized the threat. This was that exact scenario. Yet he found himself unable to resist. His feelings for Chad were still too strong. When they split up, it was mostly to pursue different life paths. He wanted to get a real job on the island, but Chad had preferred to join Conspirit ship.
I told him to not mess with these people, damn it.
He sighed. At the Central Security Office, Julian and Maxwell were monitoring the screens when a purple dot appeared on an unnamed place of the island.
I've managed to get ARIA working with your defense system. That must be our missing person.
Talos and Julian turned to Maxwell, who was still coding something into the central computer.
Let's go, right away.
He rushed, grabbing his watch to send a security drone.
Not so fast. Remember that he can still monitor all our channels.
Maxwell replied, pointing at the video feed showing the staged kidnapping scene.
We will have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Julian removed his tracker and instructed Talos to disable all his devices. Then, he retrieved a pair of handguns from a drawer.
Please, let me go with you. I might have an idea about who could be behind all this.
Jasmine said, surprising Maxwell and Julian.
If my theory is correct, we all might be at a much larger risk.
She explained that on one of Conspirit ship's videos, they mentioned a hackers group behind several heists that occurred the last 6 months.
They were planning to take over a plane and breach into a millionaire's island, according to the theorists.
Even with most of the channel's content being absolutely nonsense, some details of this theory looked legit, which is why Jasmine took the time to investigate.
They were able to hack into banks, airlines, and even intelligence agencies around the world. We're dealing with professional-grade hackers here.
Talos and Julian looked at her, concerned.
This has to be a 100% offline operation if we want to succeed.
Scene 12.
In his remote hiding place, the technician felt calm, after seeing that no security teams or video cameras focused on him at all. The small building he called home was planned as a secondary bunker in case of an emergency, abandoned during construction. He wanted to rescue his ex-boyfriend, but he must leave no footprints. Entering the main building would be a challenge, even using a disguise. The technician was almost ready to go, when a proximity sensor started blinking, alarming him.
Damn! What the hell?
Cursing, he jammed his mask back on. His focus on the island's main office had been absolute. So much, in fact, that he'd failed to notice the cameras, right next to him. He switched frantically through the different feeds, but it was too late. There was no way out.
Put your hands where I can see them,
Talos shouted, pointing his gun to the guy. But he didn't reply.
We just want some answers. We are not going to hurt you or press charges.
Julian reassured him from the distance. He felt relieved when they caught this strange individual, who almost cost the lives of Maxwell and his team in a fabricated plane crash. The technician was sitting at an improvised desk. Rests of food and dirty clothes were sparse on the floor. It looked like he had been living and hiding in that place for, at least, 3 weeks.
You will never find them,
he answered with his digitally modified voice. Talos stood 2 meters away, about to grab him by the shoulders, when the technician dropped to the floor, head first. His eyes went dead beneath the mask. Small spasms, like seizures, rocked his body. His mind was gone. Maxwell immediately started CPR, but he was lost.
It's useless. He stopped breathing.
Jasmine dropped his hand, confirming that there was no pulse.
Look, what's that? On his neck.
She read a tattoo, with the number 17.
That's his tag here in the island. He was Technician 17 or T-17.
But wait, there is more, below.
Tearing open the dead man's shirt, they saw a mark on his chest.
Make no mistake, this one was burned deeply into his skin. It's not just a tattoo. Like a rancher's mark on cattle.
Jasmine said, horrified. The branded, burnt skin revealed 2 capital letters on the chest, DR.
So, this theory ends up being true after all.
She looked at the rest of the team and said with a somber voice,
The digital riders.
Maxwell started digging through the computer files, determined to uncover the people responsible. Jasmine and Talos quickly scanned the rest of the small room, looking for other devices. But all the sensors and tags were completely destroyed. Suddenly, a sequence in binary code appeared on the screen. Maxwell was writing it on a piece of paper, when the webcam on the computer snapped to life, immediately followed by the display violently flickering red and white. A countdown appeared.
7, 6, 5.
Talos looked at Maxwell, trying to figure out if this was another kind of test.
Scene 13.
For an instant, the 3 of them stood frozen in the small bunker, while the screen continued its countdown.
4, 3, 2.
Instincts kicking in, Maxwell shoved Talos and Jasmine out the window. Seconds later, the computer exploded, obliterating the bunker and leaving the technician's remains to burn. The shockwave threw Julian Price to the floor, who was waiting for them, outside.
What the hell happened? Are you all okay?
He asked, getting back on his feet.
I don't know, but whoever was behind this didn't want to leave any trace.
Talos shouted as he ran, with Maxwell and Jasmine right behind him. Back in the main building, Conspirat Chip and Chad were subdued and put on a plane. When they woke up, they were already halfway through the flight home. The first thing they did was check their streaming platforms, only to find a total void. No live streams, no followers, and no previous recordings remained.
The whole thing has been wiped out.
How is that possible? You still have all the content backed up, right?
Chad asked him.
Well, I mostly did live streaming, and they should be here in the archive section.
Conspirateship navigated to the past videos tab, only to find out that it had also been deleted.
What the hell? We were kidnapped for real, this time.
We need to tell everyone, but nobody will believe this.
For the first time, something tangible had happened to them, and they felt angry and frustrated to have left the island without any evidence. Maxwell and his team reunited at the command center. He explained the situation to Jabari and Sam. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Julian Price tried to repay the team by offering to fly them home. But they refused unanimously.
I think we will try something calmer this time.
No more flights for a while, at least for me.
Sam added, grabbing the luggage brought by the crew.
I will miss you all. Are you sure you don't want to stay for the weekend?
Julian replied.
No, we need to go back to the Institute. No more islands or planes for us.
Jasmine completed the team's relief.
Well, perhaps this mode of transportation can suit you better.
He tapped his smart wristband. A mechanical hum, a hidden gate behind him swung open, showcasing a gleaming and luxurious yacht.
Now, we are talking.
Maxwell cheered while running to the dock. Before they reached the yacht, Talos intercepted him.
Thanks, Maxwell. We all learned a valuable lesson today. From now on, we will always remember that a human body can also be hacked, and consider each person also as a vulnerable point.
To be continued.